As a lot of you know, I've been through some pretty hard times over the last few months. And sometimes I don't think people even understand the magnitude of what what I've been through. Y'all know I was working COVID in New York when it first came out. Everybody was scared of it. Nobody understood it. People were just dropping like flies. And I went and kissed my kids goodbye and went to New York for 3 months trying to save lives. 14 deaths that were mine. I had to go through that. I had to go through the nightmares from that. Came back to Carolina. Finally got to see my kids. And instead of just being, a regular nurse again, no. I went to go be a COVID nurse again because I felt like I could take the experiences from the worst places and help somebody save their lives now. I worked COVID for 6 months or so when I came back. It was on my off day. I got a call from my cousin that my aunt had just passed away from COVID. And everybody, you're close to your family, but this is a special aunt. This is an aunt that took me in when I was little and raised me like hers. So she was very special. And just like that, she was gone. I'm going through the grief trying to process that because, of course, I broke down. And I call my mother, my birth mother. And I'm crying, I'm hysterical, I just lost my aunt. But when I call her, she's crying. And I'm like, there's no way somebody told her before I told her because I just found out. And this is my dad's sister who passed away. I call her crying. She's on the phone already crying. And I'm thinking, it's it's because of what I'm going through. But no, she's crying because my stepfather, or my ex-stepfather, another one who raised me a lot, he just died from COVID. So yeah, I got hit within 15 minutes of two people who are close to me dying of COVID. You would think that would be the end of it. No. I was still working at a COVID hospital. A few days later, after me finding out about the deaths, they came in and said, we're canceling everybody's contract. None of you have a job anymore. Of course, we're like, how? Why? What do you mean? What do you mean? COVID's gone or something? They said there's not enough COVID cases coming in anymore that would justify us keeping travel nurses on. Not enough COVID cases coming in. I just had 2 COVID deaths in my family the last couple of days. So now I'm distraught because, hey, I suddenly have no job. And I have a whole household to maintain. Go through that. A few days later, almost to the week of me finding out about the other deaths, I get a call again from my cousin. My uncle just passed away from COVID. This is my aunt who just passed away, husband. They died within a week of each other. All COVID. I, I couldn't even process it. It hit me so much back to back. I couldn't process it until I had to go to a double funeral. I've never had to do that. The funeral of the people who raised me. Tried to pick myself up from that, you know. I had good days, I had bad days. And then it comes down to my mom. And I want to clarify that, I have a birth mom, which everybody knows. That's Christine. And then I have my second mom, my bonus mom, which is my oldest brother's mom. She has always looked at me as her own flesh and blood, her own daughter. It's never been a difference. Nobody would ever know. But that's my mom. I get the calls from my brother that she's sick. Not COVID, but she's sick. She's gravely sick. Go visit her. Cheer her up, just for the doctors to tell me, she doesn't have long. I don't know about y'all family members. And even though I'm more spiritual than religious, faith is faith. No matter what you believe in, faith is faith. And it works the exact same way. My mom, my aunt, my uncle, all of them, they believed in a higher God, a higher power, who had the last say over what or when they will leave this earth. That doctor only gave her, I want to say it was a couple weeks or something to live. And yeah, I took that bad. Until a month went by and she was still alive. Still living at home alone. Still being the independent mom that I know. That was my last little beacon of hope. And my mom, she was sick basically almost all her adult life with lupus, and doctors have written her off many times before. She bounced back. I was, taught her how to video call. So I was video chatting her every day because she lives 4 hours or some change away. It's not that easy to go back and forth. I would call her every day. Every time she would be happy on the phone, and I'm like, "You doing okay, Mom? You sure?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I love you, baby. Yeah, I love you too, Mom." Every day. Till one day my brother let me know she was, back in the hospital. And this time it wasn't looking too good. Every other time she was in the hospital, she's alert. She's in her right mind. She's still talking to you. But this time, she was declining fast. She was declining to the point where she couldn't eat anymore. They couldn't give her medicines. She couldn't swallow anymore. They couldn't get no type of IV, central line, nothing. She had nothing there. She wasn't even alert to talk to anybody or even nothing, and I think my brother had, because he was there every day. Even though it was hard, I think he came to peace with what was happening. And, I video called him while he was there, and I'm like, just put the phone to her. I just want to at least see her because I know I can't get there in time. And he put the phone on her, so, my face, and she's out of it. And he's telling her, Mom, your daughter's on the phone, Shonda's on the phone. Come on, Mom, say something. Because she had been unresponsive. She really did take all the strength. I could see it and I could feel it. Just to barely open her eyes and look at me and say, I love you. That was the last thing she said to anybody. That took a lot out of me. It took a lot. I had been having, breakdowns and anxiety attacks and everything. And, it's not one of those, oh, you just had a crying spell. No. When I said my goodbyes to her and she actually told me that, I had a literal meltdown. I had a whole mental breakdown. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do nothing in life anymore. I was so hurt. I just couldn't believe I was going through so many losses. My husband literally had to take me to the doctor to get help. Because I couldn't breathe. I couldn't. It hurt. My mom, she did pass away a couple days after that. And it hurt. And I felt so selfish. I felt so selfish. Who am I to be grieving and hurting when they're the ones who's not here anymore? How dare I? I mean, that's what I was going through. I know the stages of grief. I know of the bargaining and the anger and all of that. What hurt me the most is that I spent 10 years nursing. I spent a year straight risking my life being a COVID nurse. But I couldn't save the people closest to me from COVID. I got thrown away from my job after all I had did and all that I had gave. I couldn't do it, y'all. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I literally stepped out on faith. open my business. I really stepped out on faith with no money, with nothing. And I refused to go back to nursing because in that moment I knew it wasn't for me anymore. I wanted to change people's lives in a different way. And on my good days, well, today was a good day. I'm sorry for crying. I realized after all of that, not even telling y'all my life story, just the last couple of months, I'm so blessed. I'm blessed. Beyond blessed. I don't think people even realize the ancestors that I gained. I'm unstoppable. I am unstoppable. I will make them proud. I will change the world. I promise that it'll happen. Everybody who was in my life for a season, your season is up. I can't take you with me. Anybody who ever had that dark, negative, toxic energy, you have no place in my life anymore. Because now I can see the bigger picture. Now I can see what it is I'm supposed to do. Yeah. Now I can see when my aunt and my mom and my uncle and my stepdad and my brother who passed, when they come to me in my dreams now and they're telling me what to do, I believe it now. It's a whole transformation that you guys are witnessing. I'm not that same LaShonda that you remember from childhood, from teenage years, from a decade ago, from a year ago, from a few months ago. I am totally changed. You're about to witness some things. You're about to witness my calling. You're about to see how many lives I'm going to change. Not just with my business, with my gift. The gift I've always had. The gift that so many people try to take away from me. No more. It's time. It's time. So, I really did not mean for this this video to be this long, actually. But if it comes across and you look at it, it was meant for me to talk to you. 2021 is that year where it all changes. Not just for me. You keep seeing me put the same hashtags on everything. I keep saying $1 million journey. I'm gonna put that up. And it's not just going to be me. When I make it, so many people deserving are going to make it too. My life of servitude is going to be kicked up a whole nother notch. Just watch and wait. Love you guys. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah, I feel better. It's time.